Hey hockey fans, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the life of Eddie Shack. Eddie Shack began his NHL career in 1958-1959 when the New York Rangers signed him. He played on Broadway for 3 seasons before being dealt to the Toronto Maple Leafs early in the 1960-1961 campaign. Shack was to be traded to the Detroit Red Wings with Bill Gadsby for Red Kelly and Bill McNeil, but the deal fell through when Kelly chose to retire rather than be traded. Kelly and McNeil refused to report and the transaction was cancelled. As a result, Kelly temporarily retired and McNeil was suspended for the rest of the season. Shack's most successful years in his professional hockey career were playing in Toronto for the Maple Leafs. After 7 years with the Maple Leafs, Eddie won the Stanley Cup 4 times, 1962, 1963, 1964, and again in 1967. He also scored the Cup-winning goal in 1963. He would later exclaim that he scored the goal off his backside as he tried to get out of the way. After winning the Stanley Cup in 1967, Eddie was traded to the Boston Bruins for Murray Oliver and cash. Shack's hockey career was declining at this point. His offensive output was down, but with the trade to Boston and playing on a line with Derek Sanderson and Ed Westfall, Eddie was rejuvenated, scoring 23 goals in 1967-1968. Eddie Shack and Larry Zeidel were hockey players with a history of violent clashes on the ice. On March 7, 1968, they were involved in a notorious stick-swinging duel that left both of them bleeding and injured. Anti-Semitic remarks sparked the incident that Shack and his teammates made towards Zeidel, who was Jewish. Zeidel was known as one of the most aggressive and dirty players in hockey history and had suffered from multiple concussions and brain damage. Shack was a fan favorite who played with energy and humor, but also had a reputation for being reckless and unpredictable. With injuries hampering the left winger, Eddie would move from team to team over the course of the next 4 seasons, playing for the Los Angeles Kings, Buffalo Sabres, and Pittsburgh Penguins, before eventually coming full circle back to the Toronto Maple Leafs, where he would end his career in 1974 and 1975. Eddie Shack was known as the entertainer for his on-ice antics. After his playing career, he began entertaining in a new way when he became an advertising spokesman for the Pop Shop, Schick Razors, and a small donut chain in 1994 called Eddie Shack's Donuts. He made many appearances throughout the rest of his life at Alumni All-Star games. I first met Eddie Shack at an All-Star Alumni game on February 17, 1991 in Regina, Saskatchewan. While walking down the hallway, meeting NHL legends Alex Delvecchio, Norm Ullman, and Maurice Rocket Richard, I greeted Shack. I politely asked him if I could take his picture, and in a loud voice he said, "Well, that's what you brought a camera for." The second time I met Eddie was in the 2000s at another alumni game in Regina, Saskatchewan for Hockey Day in Canada. I was wearing my Pittsburgh Penguins jersey with the number 66 on the back when someone in a loud voice yelled at me from behind, "What are you wearing Pittsburgh for?" "It's Hockey Day in Canada." When I turned around to see who it was, there was Eddie Shack grinning at me. Eddie then said, "Oh, it's a Mario Lemieux jersey. He's Canadian. That's okay." In Eddie's heyday, he was so popular that in 1966, a song by Brian McFarlane called "Clear the Track, Here Comes Shack" was written about him. Douglas Rankine performed the song with The Secrets. It reached number 1 in the Canadian pop charts and stayed there for nearly 3 months. Eddie Shack, a former Maple Leaf and NHL icon, passed away at the age of 83 in July 2020. He had been battling throat cancer for some time. Shack was known as the entertainer for his colorful personality and Stanley Cup winning goal in 1963. He played for 6 different teams in his 17-year career and was one of the most beloved players in hockey history. Hey hockey fans, if you like this content, please punch that subscribe button. You know Eddie Shack would. You can also follow my blog at https://tedtalkshockey.com and remember to keep your stick on the ice.
Thanks for watching.